Hi guys, Herbal here. I kind of want to talk to you about a situation that happened kind of recently. I was blocked by one of my favorite comedians, Zebrowski. He's done things like Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. He had a part in Wolf of Wall Street. And, of course, the last podcast on the left took off, and made over 1.5 billion views. I don't know if they got $1 billion, probably not, but over 1 billion views. And I started watching them when they were a lot smaller. So seeing them blow up and seeing them grow has made me nothing but happy. Now, I sort of looked up to Henry Zebrowski in a way I kind of tried to mirror his style of comedy in my Twitch streams. He's sort of the wild card, really funny but very on topic.
Thank you, mister. Yes, please. Thank you, mister.
I don't think that's acceptable.
What do you mean? That's not a song?
I don't know. No.
You are my master. Thank you for owning me. Thank you for purchasing
Marcus, are we
me,
recording?
Mr. Hey, I'm Nanny. Where's Minnie? I'm in here, Nanny. It's me, Minnie. Oh, I'm coming in there, Minnie, right after you, because my name's Nanny. Oh, that's great to hear, Nanny. I'm Minnie. I'd say he was candy maker first, trombone player 2nd, pedophile 3rd.
Yeah, and then gay.
Yes.
But he's usually very knowledgeable about the topics that he talks about on the podcast. And but he comes across very funny, where you wouldn't know that he has all of this knowledge. And that's something that I very much wanted to emulate in my style of how I do things. Undercover cop posing as a hitman. You know you fucked up in life if you can't even get a hitman properly. BB, I miss you so much. I want to fuck. Call me. To be fair, if you look like this guy and this chick texts you this shit, I think you gotta go fuck, bro. Because there's not too many bitches out there that look like that that's gonna let you smash, even if it's for nefarious reasons.
The relative optimism he would have felt during the initial...
The look, though, is like, Wilp, I hope I give good blowjobs and my asshole's tight.
90 minutes on his own will now be gone.
And his is a style of comedy that I definitely used in the early years of me starting Twitch and streaming. Now, he blocked me. Let's get into why. So, last podcast was recently sort of caught up in an issue with one of their co-owners. So there's Marcus Parks, there's Henry Zebrowski, and there's Ben Kissel. Now, Ben Kissel was recently caught in some allegations where some previous paramours of his, a few of them, basically came clean about some of the things that they were experiencing in their relationship with him. Things where there were physical and mental, verbal abuse going on throughout the relationship. Now, all of these are allegations. There were no charges pressed. But Rolling Stones did an article about it. And one of his ex-paramours, Moon, actually did a video interview about it. Now, I covered both of these on stream. It was, she says, understood that they were both seeing other people. So when Kissel asked her one rainy night that winter if she had slept with anybody else, she answered honestly in the affirmative, naming someone who was also on the New York City comedy scene. She was shocked, she says, when Kissel, whom she alleged had been drinking heavy throughout the night, became irate. As Kissel got angrier and angrier and drunker, Benny Casa says she tried to figure out what to do. She tried calming him down, ushering him to go to bed, but he was still furious, she says. I said, those are the rules you set. I don't understand why you're so mad, she says. And he said, well, never do that again. That's when Benny Casa alleged that Kissel slapped her across the face. She told herself a lot of stories about what had happened, that Kissel was drunk, and he truly may not have remembered allegedly hitting her. Allegedly, so this is still all allegedly. That it wouldn't happen again.
Nah, he slapped her.
And I also made a YouTube video out of the streams that I then posted on social media. I made a couple of clips. This is Ben Kissel right here.
And that's the comedian. Yes.
That is the comedian, Ben Kissel. That's when Benny Casa alleged that Kissel slapped her across the face. Benny says she tried to broach the subject with Kissel again. I said, "You hit me last night." He said, "No, I didn't." I said, "Yes, you did. You slapped me across the face," she recalls. And he looked at me and kind of patted me on the head like a little kid. And he said, "Well, I'm very sorry if that happened, but it didn't." Benny continued to casually date Kissel for a few months, breaking up in the spring of 2012, and they occasionally hooked up a few years afterwards. Kissel was drunk, and he truly may not have remembered allegedly hitting her. When Kissel told Moon that he wanted to continue bar hopping, Moon recalls, she said she was going to bed. Late that night, she alleged walked into the room drunk, prompting a verbal argument. At one point, Kissel got on top of her, pinned her down on the bed. He pressed his forehead to mine, pinned me down on the mattress, and I told him that he was hurting me. Kissel denies this.
Then he put both his hands on my shoulders. And I'm only 5'2", and I weigh about 110 pounds. And my ex-boyfriend is 6'7", and he weighs about 400 pounds. He pushed his forehead into my face like that, so hard I felt my head sink halfway in the mattress. The rest of my body was going in with it, because he was holding me down and pushing me so hard.
Kissel denies this. In 2015, according to a source close to the creek in the cave, Trent became aware of the specific allegation that Kissel had been forceful with the female comic. The comic in question did not respond to the request for comment. She confided in me that, this show is blowing up and I might have to kick him out, the source says. The show is blowing up and I might have to. So the owner of the creek in the cave was going to kick out Ben because he was fucking being aggressive towards women. Of course, the last podcast network says that Zebrowski and Parks were never made aware of his allegations and that Trent had never discussed it with them. In response to the request for comment, Trent told Rolling Stones via email, "I have not thought about or seen Ben Kissel since before 2016. I think I speak for most of us when I say I thought he would have died in a fire by now. Life is full of disappointments."
Damn.
That sounded brutal.
That's pretty condemning.
And when I posted the clips all over the social media, I tagged Henry, I tagged Ben, and I tagged Marcus, and I also tagged Last Podcast on the Left on Instagram when I dropped the videos. It was shortly thereafter that I was blocked by Henry Zebrowski. Now, I've made previous videos about other semi-famous and not-so-famous characters. Alright, normally when I see dudes like this, they look creepy, they look scary. It's like, how is this dude not a killer? This dude is just a fucking douchebag. And some of them I've covered in a not-so-nice light. And they've removed themselves from my video tag before. That's a thing that I saw. But they've never blocked me. So when I was blocked by Henry Zebrowski, it felt a little personal, I should say. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a situation where they see somebody tag them in something that's not necessarily on his brand, so they blocked the person to prevent them from tagging further. Maybe I'm looking into it too much, or maybe I'm thinking about it too much. But still, it feels just a little bit personal. Now, again, if you look at Last Podcast and the things that they do, they take horrible circumstances, right? Like, they covered 9/11, they covered tons of serial killers, Henry Lee Lucas, Jeffrey Dahmer, all the big ones. And they cover it in a comedic way.
But Dean Kroll did have homosexual relationships with adults outside.
He just didn't like it.
Yeah, he was like a little down for it, but still it wasn't quite getting him.
It's like Hunt's ketchup. Just not Heinz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the good stuff.
Yeah. I used to hate eating at the family's house who had the Hunt's ketchup. It's like, what is wrong with you people?
Just put some salt in it.
Just have sex with the boy.
Oh, come on. Now. I suppose so. And evidently the genital mutilation is the theme of the day.
Just this episode. And sometimes that's just how it is. And that's a synchronicity.
Oh, that's right.
It's just a happy accident. That's what I'm going to say.
You want to call those happy accidents? Really? Are you sure about that?
This whole show is just nothing but a happy accident.
They are very sympathetic to the victims, but they are very harsh, and they roast the serial killers. Now, I tried to do the same thing in my video, in which I covered Ben Kissel's allegations, where we roasted Ben Kissel. And in some ways, we roasted Marcus and Henry for doing a little bit of a cover-up. Kissel's issues with alcohol have long been a topic of discussion among those in his social circle, and may have played a role in his alleged misconduct. Rolling Stones has found that reports of Kissel's alleged drunken and combative behavior go back more than a decade, to the point of it being an open secret within the podcast and comedy communities. Multiple sources close to Kissel and the network have alleged that Zebrowski and Parks were well aware of Kissel's struggles with alcohol abuse. Well, they knew about his alcohol abuse. Did they know about his abusive behavior, though?
So he wound up leaving. He went somewhere else. And so I was walking with her, the woman I just referenced, and we were walking towards to go to the concert from Vegas that we were at, and I don't know if she could tell something was wrong with me or not, because she looked at me and she just said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was scared. I didn't know if I should say anything or not, because those were his friends, and I didn't know if they would believe me. But I told her everything because I was too scared, but I told her a lot. And, it had been going on for a while like that, and so I just told her about that one night, and she believed me. She believed me, and she told her husband. And so I spent the rest of the day with them and talking, and while I was there with them, my ex was sending me text messages that weren't normal. Like I said, the reason why I chose this story is because I don't want to send screenshots. It's too personal for me. But this is why I'm saying so I can provide my evidence this way. And his business partner was sending these weird text
receipts would have been way
messages
more
that just are not normal to send.
I feel like receipts are necessary when you have a whole
So
community coming after you.
basically, I'll let you guys know, it was to the point where his business partner and they were worried so much about my safety that they stood in line to get me another hotel room. But unfortunately, because of the event, all the hotel rooms were booked, and we didn't know where my ex-boyfriend was at the time.
Or for knowing about it and allowing it to continue. Now, if that's the reason why I got blocked, I completely understand. But to me, it just rings a little hypocritical. But, that's where we are. I'm going to continue making videos about things that interest me, about games, check me out, HerbalRemedyS. Definitely hop into the streams. Yeah, I did just want to let you know, Henry, you are still one of my favorite comedians. I'm still going to consume your content. I'm still going to listen to the podcast. I don't know who you guys have. Maybe Ed Larson, Holden McNeely might be replacing Ben. I have to catch up on some episodes. But I want to say no hard feelings. It'd be cool if you unblock me. If you don't, I understand too. But yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. You guys take care and have a good one. I'll see you on the next video and or stream. Hit the like, hit that follow button or subscribe, whichever you're on, whatever platform, and take care.